As I'm sure most of the people watching this video know, 4 years ago, YouTube released a video called YouTube Rewind 2018. And, to put it mildly, it was fucking garbage. The video often featured people who were insignificant and favored them over people who actually were significant. A lot of the humor was really dated even during the time when it was released. And despite being under the tagline of everyone controls rewind, it felt much more corporate than the previous ones. Everyone from YouTubers to just regular people to people who are actually into rewind to even Susan Wojcicki's kids found the video to be a cringe-inducing nightmare, to the point where it eventually became the most disliked video on YouTube, only recently being surpassed by whatever the fuck these two videos are supposed to be. To add a little bit of my own anecdotes to this as well, back when YouTube Rewind 2018 released, I was 10 years old. At the time, I was in 5th grade. If you walked around my school and asked anybody what they thought of YouTube Rewind 2018, they were guaranteed to tell you that it was shit. However, I'm pretty sure that we have all grown since YouTube Rewind 2018 first released. Judging by where most of my audience comes from, I'm gonna bet that most of you were like in grade school or even younger at the time that YouTube Rewind 2018 released. We've all experienced a lot of things, experienced growing, experienced a fucking global pandemic and shit like that. There's a lot more shit I'm skipping over, but the point is we've all grown since 2018. Times are different nowadays. So, with our current environment, I decided to rewatch YouTube Rewind 2018 to answer a few questions. What were the factors behind why YouTube Rewind 2018 failed as much as it did? How did it affect YouTube Rewinds afterwards? And most importantly, is it as bad as we remember? Let's find out. In order to understand what made YouTube Rewind 2018 such a bad rewind, we must look at an example of a good rewind. And to do that, we have to go all the way back to 2012. While there were 2 rewinds before that, and many other rewinds that people consider to be good, and by many other, I mean 4. Most people consider YouTube Rewind 2012 to be one of, if not the best YouTube Rewind. So we need to examine YouTube Rewind 2012 if we want to get an understanding of how 2018 failed so badly. I think 2012 was the point in time where YouTube had the perfect balance. It was popular enough to be noticeable, but not necessarily popular enough to attract the soulless consumerism that plagues YouTube today. It really felt like a year in review, tackling the biggest YouTubers at the time, tackling the first video to hit 1 billion views, tackling some moments that happened in 2012 overall. It really felt like a year in review, but in terms of YouTube, if you understand what I'm saying. One of the biggest strengths of YouTube Rewind 2012 was due to the fact that YouTube was relatively small compared to how it is today. Most of the people that were featured in YouTube Rewind 2012 would be recognizable to anyone watching 2012. Anyone watching at the time of its release could look at this video and point out people like Smosh, Red and Link, Corridor Crew, The Annoying Orange, Kasim G, and Nigahiga. There are a bunch of other reasons why YouTube Rewind 2012 is considered to be one of, if not the best, YouTube Rewind. However, ultimately it comes down to the fact that 2012 was an honest recap of the year's events on YouTube, which put the creators first and foremost. Alright, that's the section over. Let's talk about why 2018 fucking sucks.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
There are many reasons why YouTube Rewind 2018 failed, but ultimately I feel like all of them could be chalked up to YouTube becoming too big. From 2012 all the way to 2018, YouTube slowly became bigger and bigger until it turned into the video juggernaut that we know today. And I feel like it is this massive growth that YouTube has experienced that ultimately set the path for why 2018 failed as hard as it did. With this in mind, let's go over all of the reasons. Let's start off with a question. I'm currently showing you the thumbnail for YouTube Rewind 2018. Now, there are 9 people featured at the front of the thumbnail. Of those 9 people, how many do you recognize? Because if you're anything like me, you're only going to recognize one person in this thumbnail, and I'm 50% sure that he isn't a YouTuber. Now this brings us to our first problem with YouTube Rewind 2018. A lot of the people featured would not be recognizable to a YouTube audience, or if they were, then they probably weren't even YouTubers. Now for the first part, it's actually understandable. Since 2012, 2013, 2014, and all of those years, YouTube has expanded globally, and different creators from different parts of the world are going to make different videos for different audiences. Someone from the United Kingdom is going to make content for people in the United Kingdom. Someone from South Korea is going to make content for people living in South Korea. And people from the United Kingdom and people from South Korea probably aren't watching each other's videos. Thus, British YouTube and Korean YouTube would probably have different people who are popular. For that reason, I can't really be too upset that there are creators in YouTube Rewind 2018 that I can't recognize, to a certain extent at least. Because if I can't recognize a certain YouTuber, it doesn't mean that other people won't recognize this specific YouTuber. Because remember, YouTube is bigger now than it was previously. Even ignoring my examples with foreign countries, and even in your home country, there are probably several different channels that are popular that service a wide variety of genres, to the point where you can't always watch all of them and you aren't going to be interested in all of them. My YouTube recommended would probably look different than my friend's YouTube recommended, as an example. So I can't really be too mad that there are YouTubers in YouTube Rewind 2018 that I can't recognize. However, this problem isn't just only limited to YouTubers, but it covers celebrities as well. While celebrities have always been a part of YouTube Rewind, for the times that they were part of YouTube Rewind, they always felt like they were there to complement the video, because the attention was still focused on the creators. They always put the creators first and the celebrities in the back seat. However, with YouTube Rewind 2018, it feels like the opposite, that they put the celebrities first and foremost and put the creators in the back seat, prominently featuring celebrities like Will Smith, Lisa Koshy, and Casey Neistat, and that's not even mentioning other celebrities that appear. Actually, now that I think about it, I think YouTube went out of their way to put the celebrities first and foremost and put the creators at the back. They chose the safest possible YouTubers to put in YouTube Rewind 2018 and ignored some of the events that happened in YouTube in 2018, like the KSI versus Logan Paul fight, or the conflict that was going on between PewDiePie and T-Series, and a bunch of other things. It almost felt like YouTube was playing the safe route during all of this. But no, that can't be right. I'm going somewhere with this, don't worry. Alright, well, looks like that's it for now. Tune in next time where I talk more about why YouTube Rewind 2018 failed as hard as it did.